at the different cartridges.
Right. So we've got, let me see here if I can get, I'm working with a totally different mic today, so I apologize.
Sound great.
These two, again, original on the left, competition cartridge on the right. The most obvious difference between the two is in the right corner, right?
Yep.
Like the right corner, this one's just kind of the regular Super Nintendo. This one says, go figure, competition cartridge, right? And then as you pointed out on the last video, when you look at the very, very top,
it's very different.
It's extremely different.
Yeah.
If I can get my camera angles right here. One tells you exactly what it's called, Donkey Kong Country. The other one just says, hey, this is not for resale.
Yeah, resale rental of the game pack is prohibited.
Prohibited. And that was specifically because from what I was looking at, and it kind of makes sense when you think about it, for those that were working at Blockbuster, these games were in drawers. The labels were facing up.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
They didn't want the name Donkey Kong labeled on the top. They didn't want the name of the game even labeled on the top. Because they're stacked in drawers like this, easy to identify. Oh, there's Donkey Kong. Boom, grab it, go. That's not what they want to do. They want to make sure they know for sure they don't grab this one and put it in one of those cases or whatever, in case it gets mixed in with all the other cartridges and games that they have that they're renting out. So if having another case wasn't fun enough and obvious enough, but you know, stuff gets mixed into cases, you know, into stuff all the time, obviously. So
test number one is looking at the front.
Looking at the front. Yep.
You see competition cartridge. Test number two is looking at the top. And you're like, okay, that's totally different.
That's different. And at this point, we're looking at what is different and what is not, and what we're supposed to be seeing on a legitimate cartridge. And we'll get to the difference between this and the reproduction one in a second. But because this thing's checking all the boxes as a legitimate.
Yeah, because there are people that are like, well, you could just have a reproduction copy.
Right. And we'll get to that in a second. Once you crack it open, you'll see for sure, like without question.
Yeah.
It's totally different. But here's one of the things that's a little different on the back that's interesting, that most people were not, at least in the comments and the conversations we were having, even really aware of. But it's a little subtle detail that when you know to look for it, you instantly recognize how legitimizing it is and how very different it is from a regular Super Nintendo cartridge. Because most Super Nintendo cartridges, the patent and everything like that for it, if you'll notice in the really, really cruddy version of the original Donkey Kong, up in the top right corner, it says made in Japan, right? It's got all this same stuff, important, power must be on, like all the warning stuff, the model number, the patent pending information, all of that stuff, right?
Yeah.
But the vast majority of Super Nintendo cartridges were made in Japan.
Because Nintendo is a Japan.
Right. Nintendo is a Japanese country, right? For this particular set of cartridges, because it was being done at Blockbuster Video, which was in North America.
Yeah.
You'll look at this, and it is 100% the exact same sticker, except, bam, made in Mexico.
But that's a good thing that it says.
And that is a very good thing, because when we transition over to the competition cartridge reproduction, right? Finding a sticker that says made in Mexico, like those aren't.
But even like looking at the top face value of this, it's way.
You'll notice the difference between the two for sure.
It's way too glossy. Like the sticker is
black,
shiny,
right?
It's black.
It's black.
It
looks very, very. It's like this weird kind of marriage between the original Donkey Kong.
Yeah.
Because this isn't really truly black. If you get a real close look at it, it's like a dark green
in the background.
Right?
Yeah.
This is black. It does have competition cartridge in the corner, but it's not the same. It's totally different, right? So it's very different. But then when you look on the top, again, the person who made these, they wanted to make them very clean, but also very clear that it's not a legitimate cartridge, and be very upfront about it. This one just says Donkey Kong Country Competition Cartridge. If you
Right.
see anything that says Donkey Kong Country Competition Cartridge on the top of the cartridge, that's not a legit cartridge.
So here's the
Because
question.
all the legit ones had this warning on the top.
Yeah. So here's the question. What if there's someone out there that like does all of the things to make it
Like,
look
oh my God,
as possible as an actual original competition cartridge, right?
Right.
On the outside. The front looks the same, the top looks the same, the back looks the same. It says made in Mexico.
Somehow they found a cartridge sticker label that says made in Mexico,
Or
even though
they
I'm
made
pretty
one,
sure these are
right?
the only. Maybe they made one. Yeah, you're right. Maybe they made one. But
like
let's
beyond
see
that, then what
let's
do
say
you
they
do,
did that. Yeah.
right? Yeah. So what do you do at that point?
Well, at that point, we did what we did in the last video. You crack it open and see what's different. This here. So this is a copy of both Star Fox as well as Donkey Kong competition cartridges. This is what the inside looks like. And we'll crack it open here in a second, but this is the legit inside of what the cartridge looks like. You'll notice right there it says copyright 1993 on the left side over here for the Donkey Kong one, and it says the battery is covering it up, but it says Nintendo right there.
Yeah.
It's very much a legit copy. So
anybody who is hanging out and doesn't have the full story, Daniel was at a retro gaming store. He found these two copies.
Well, these two.
Oh, right. He found those two. He bought both of them, and he very quickly learned that the one that says competition cartridge is extremely rare. And like me, my favorite system is Super Nintendo. I'm a huge Super Nintendo nerd, and Donkey Kong is my favorite franchise within Super Nintendo. And so these competition cartridges were only released to Blockbuster, as 2,500 copies were made and dispersed throughout America, North America, as like a competition. And after the competition happened, the majority of them were sold through Nintendo for $35, but now they're going for about $2,000. So
just the individual cartridge,
just the loose cartridge,
yeah,
$2,000.
which is it's crazy.
Yeah,
and it's even more crazy when you know that I got it for 15 bucks, or
well, you got it for less than
12 bucks, whatever that was, $11.99.
After your discount.
So as you can see, when we open this up, oh my god, loosen that side up a little bit more. Take that out. So we'll flip this up. This is when I freaked out and started screaming.
Yep. Because you compare that to the other photo.
Right. And oh shoot, I closed it. I closed out of it. But you can see it. It's very much the same thing. I can give you a better look at what it looks like on the side here now with
it says
Nintendo on the side, 1993, right?
I mean,
we even looked up the numbers on the chips, right? Like the actual serial number and stuff in the chips, and they're all
it's all the
100% legit. And I'm excited right now because it looks like one of our good friends, Alberto, is joining us.
Yeah.
Are you here, Alberto?
He's part of the crew.
He's in the background there.
I don't see
him. I don't want to push him in if he's not ready to chat yet. Maybe he's finding a microphone or something. But there he is. We get him in. Hey.
I don't know if you guys can hear.
How you doing, brother?
I'm doing pretty good. How about you?
I'm doing good. I'm so glad you were able to join us for this, man.
Man, it's been a long time since we've done a stream together.
It's been a long time.
And you're doing it from your new place too, right?
Yes, sir.
That's exciting. Everybody moved. over the course of the last time we did stuff. And like, I'm in a new house, Andrew's in a new house, Bobby's in a new house, you're in a new house,
People got
Christian's in a
married.
new house,
Yeah.
everybody's in a new house. So,
Yeah, Daniel, I feel like I can talk for a little bit. I feel like you should find that photo.
Okay, yeah, I'll find it.
Just to compare it, because
people are people and they don't believe what they see unless they see it, that kind of thing.
People don't believe that you got that for $15. I still don't believe that.
I have a hard time believing it too.
I have all of the evidence, and I still have a hard time believing it. But
I totally understand. Yeah. You hear stories like that all the time, and you're like, "No way that happened."
Oh yeah.
And then you think,
it happened.
Okay, maybe it did, but why didn't it happen to me? Right?
You.
It always happens to the people who have no idea what the hell they're coming across. Yeah. This is what I have right here. Right? This is it.
Yep.
And there you go.
And are you able to side by side at all?
I mean, I can. I'd have to remove us, but yeah.
Yeah, go for it.
Well, there we go. I mean, Andrew, Alberto, you guys aren't experts, but after Andrew freaking out about this with me, I did a crazy deep dive into all things to try and make sure this is legit.
I feel like I'm like, I just knowing what this cartridge was like somewhat of an expert.
Right.
Then after
more than me at first, yeah.
Yeah, but then after that, like, I mean, all I need is like looking inside and then comparing it to original cartridge and
then playing it and running it, and it works.
Yeah, and it works.
We can get to later if we want.
But like looking at like even just the capacitors and like how everything is lined up, literally everything is in the same exact spot.
Right. And so here's the thing. You do that, compare it to...
Yeah, open up the other one.
Compare it to this one here. And here's the really funny thing. So this one was $19.99.
Yeah.
Right? After shipping.
$19.99?
This one was $19.99.
Oh, not $9.
Are you thinking $19.99 the year? No.
Yeah, I was
$19.99, right? The original one. That's how much that one was. After shipping and everything, this one cost me $30. This is actually the most expensive one of the bunch.
The fake one.
And it's the fake one that, to be honest, I will probably be using this to actually play competition cartridge matches because I don't want to risk ruining the other one. It does play. It plays just as good as the other one. But you'll know instantaneously when we open this thing up how different it is. But Andrew, if you want to grill Alberto some more about something while I'm...
Yeah. Alberto, were you here when we were talking about what the competition cartridge is?
No, I just joined in.
Okay, so
what is it? Is it very similar to like what the other retro games did, where it's like whoever could beat stuff the fastest or something like that?
Yeah, so 2,500 cartridges were made, and they were sent out to Blockbuster.
About that. Give or take.
Yeah. They were sent out to Blockbuster in North America. And basically, like, I mean, I grew up in a really small town where we didn't have a Blockbuster, and I wish that I was a part of being able to like show up to a Blockbuster and be a part of this. But
that'd have been amazing.
Yeah, but like you could go to your local Blockbuster, and there was a competition where there was this specific cartridge with a Super Nintendo and a controller. And basically, you hit start, and you have 5
You
minutes.
don't even hit start. You turn the machine
Yeah,
on, and it
sorry.
instantly starts the
Yeah.
game with a 5-minute countdown going.
Yes, that's what I mean. Sorry,
Yeah, you don't have to hit
Really?
any buttons. It's just
yeah, you
boom,
just
there it
turn
goes.
the system on, and then you 5 minutes, get as many points as you can. There are 8 level. I don't know if they told people that there's 8 levels, but
They didn't. I don't think they did.
yeah, but there are 8 levels across the competition cartridge.
Try and go as far as you can in 5 minutes, and
But it's
I,
not only going as far as you can, it's getting as many points as you can. And you get that through collecting bananas and killing enemies.
Hmm.
And so,
I don't even know if I've really found out what
what I'm really
it was a competition to wean people out of. Like, what are they getting from this? Were they trying to find the world's greatest or something, or what was the deal?
I think it was just a promotion for the game.
Okay.
Honestly.
It wasn't. Well, here's the thing. It was in '93 that it was taking place, and Donkey Kong original one came out in '94. So it was kind of like a promotion of the Super Nintendo and a lot of these big titles. I think they were wanting to push, like Star Fox, like Donkey Kong, right?
Because there's another competition cartridge for Star Fox as well.
Right, there was one of those as well. Yeah, when we saw that in one of those pictures. So, but here's the big, massive tell. You'll notice this right away, and something interesting here. One of the things that in a lot of reproduction cartridges will be a dead giveaway is when you look at the screws on the front, they're going to be like just Phillips screws or something like that. But like I said, the people that I got this competition cartridge from, and the reason why it was $30, is because they go out of their way to make sure it looks still like super clean. So they actually use the same kind of hex safety screws and stuff for regular Super Nintendo cartridges. You'll notice on the back, it still has the embossed Nintendo logo on there and all of that. So it's a really clean looking reproduction.
Yeah.
And if the company itself or
the cartridge is like not nearly the same.
Right. Competition card, like, but it looks clean though. That's what I'm saying. Like it doesn't look super cheap. And if the company and the people who are making this were not as upfront about, hey, this is a reproduction cartridge, it probably could fool somebody. And so that gets into some of the conversation we can have a little bit later about whether these things are valuable and good to have in circulation or not. But you'll notice right away that this thing, and again, this one was, I didn't twist enough on this one. There we go. Totally different cartridge.
Yeah, I mean
it's totally different.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you're right.
But here's the interesting thing. They did a good job identifying and labeling for themselves Donkey Kong Country. And I'm guessing F is, I don't know what the F is for, but it probably identifies it as something separate from a regular Donkey Kong Country.
Maybe like
you know,
game
again, over here, Donkey Kong Country, it's got these numbers. So,
but like you could look at the battery, like even just comparing the batteries, right? Like the original battery is a Maxwell.
Yeah. And this is, I don't know what that is because I can't read Japanese. You know, like it's totally different.
And it's like it says lithium. Like lithium was not even a thing.
Right. Yeah.
Right? So,
yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
So, and that's the thing that you were asking me about, Andrew, too, that I haven't tested yet because, to be honest, I've left it in a case and haven't really done much with it since. But whether or not it's saving scores with the battery or if I'd need to replace the battery or not, I haven't checked that yet.
We should check that tonight.
I'd be open to that.